Alright, we are live. We are live. Hello.
Maybe angry. I don't remember. I've been feeling very funny here lately. Like I can't in situations where I know I should be getting angry. I get peaked frustrated, but not anything else. I throw temper tantrum like child. It is very weird. But I remember walking down uh towards this giant grove, and I remember being very frustrated with Weird the Man in Mask and throwing my hammer. Now that I'm thinking about this, it was very strange. I don't remember what the hammer was to me. It's I just remember throwing it because I was angry. I don't know. But then man started attacking me. The rest of my party uh, I saw flocking around this person, and for some reason, I made stupid decision to not fight and just stick my trident in ground. I don't know what that was all about, but I guess I wanted to talk. I don't remember most of these things. Like ever since day that I offered something to person, I don't even remember what it was. I haven't really been able to keep memories, short-term memories. It's very weird, but oh well, shouldn't be too important.
Joke's on you. It's going to become extremely important.
DM, you're muted.
Yeah. I mean that from Tenacity's point of view, that was that killed it. Yeah, so we pick up with you guys still in the grove. It is just after the fight. The Graven Right, his mask has flown off. And as soon as he was killed, a sigil had appeared on the apple. I'm calling it apple. On the apple you guys retrieved. What do you guys want to do?
Temperance wanted to look at the symbol.
Isn't that the symbol that you posted in the chat?
Mhm,
Yes, it is.
mhm,
We were trying to figure out what it was.
mhm.
All
We-
right. What are
Huh?
you just looking at it, trying to figure out like language, if it's a language or what it is, or just trying to figure out what it is?
I think she's just trying to figure out what it is. It appeared, so now she's just gonna. She doesn't want to touch it, but she wants to look at it and see if it looks like anything she recognizes, like if it's like a word or is it just a pretty drawing.
I have in my
Click
notes
red
here.
button.
I have in my notes here that it was a strange rune of no language.
Yeah.
Spelled rune.
Yes.
I'm going to fix that. Otherwise, that will drive me nuts.
Yeah, no, pretty much it is not a language. It is, near as you can tell, it is just a rune of some sort, a sigil of some sort.
So we are
Arletto?
representing-
Yes.
Do you know what this is?
Not necessarily. If I had to make hazard a guess, I would say it most likely is some sort of symbol by whichever court of the Feywild this is would recognize us, but I can investigate it more if you want. Arletta will walk over to it and he is going to study it, see if he can find any form of magic attached to the rune. Or if it appears to be. Go ahead.
Give me an Arcana check.
I need to actually pull up my character sheet. I did not do that without technical difficulties. That's a 22.
bodes well for tonight. That's good.
Yes, yes, it does. So, it's a 22. You pretty much hit the nail on the head. It is a essentially a rune that the court would recognize, that would allow you passage. You remember seeing something vaguely like it on that first horn guy's mask.
Arletto glanced over at Temperance and nods at her. I was right. This is something the Feywild will use to make sure we have done what we are supposed to do, I suppose. A symbol of passage.
Does that mean we touch it?
Is someone carrying it right now, or
Tempe has it.
does she?
She's just holding the fruit itself, not the rune.
Okay. Arletto's
And
gonna.
she's not asking it to lick it. At least she's not asking to lick it.
Oh, that. Oh, that is
No, she
way
doesn't want to eat it.
that is way funnier to me.
Looking at you, scientists, specifically
least-
geologists.
At least someone's not telling her to lick it. That'd be worse.
And now I'm staring directly at you.
That is way funnier than it should be to me, because in my other campaign we have a character who will lick anything and everything he can.
No.
It's being played by Herbal, so that should tell you how well that's going.
All right. Oh. Campy has it. It is a passive sigil, essentially. What do you guys do?
Arletto is
So, Drea, are you gonna poke it?
Well, nobody answered me. I said, should we touch it?
I don't know if we should touch it, but I don't suppose it can do that much harm at this point. Feywild doesn't like us. I know where to find us, I'm quite sure of that.
Watching Tenacity's finger.
Touch, no touch.
Well,
They
Vance
just-
is not. He touches it.
It touched it.
Mm-hmm.
So tenacity reaches over, and touches the sigil. You guys wait for a moment. 2 moments. Nothing happens.
I don't know what I was expecting, but it's kind of
Yeah.
anticlimactic.
Yeah. Here, do you want to hold on to it?
Sure.
With it being a fruit, maybe you should take a bite.
I think we are overthinking this a little. I think we're supposed to present it to the Feywild court when we arrive there.
That is fair. I am a little hungry though. He'll put the fruit that's marked with the sigil into one of his pockets, and he'll walk over to one of the other trees and pick a fruit and eat.
I would not
Give me a
suggest
wisdom
doing
saving
that.
throw.
Yeah.
No.
Volpe, instantly.
I just love the idea that you're saying you don't want to do that, Volpez, right as he's taking the bite. Just, oh no.
He turned
Okay.
around too late and just facepalm. Dear Lord, I'm going to look like Sokka at the end of the fucking cave episode.
Taco, what happened to your forehead?
I don't know why I did that. Let's hold on. 13?
Do you remember short-term emotional exhaustion from a couple sessions ago?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no. You are stunned for 1 minute,
Okay.
and you have a level of short-term emotional exhaustion.
Cool. Yeah, you guys see Tenacity bite into the apple or to the fruit, whatever it is. Just kind of like loosely drop it, almost like he doesn't have control of his fingers and hand anymore, and then just kind of like listlessly starts walking like he's dazed.
Do the rest of y'all do.
Let's get out of
So
this
you
grove.
have the
Go ahead.
so you'll have the survival instincts of a mango.
Just out of character, wouldn't a koala be more accurate?
Nah, because we're in an orchard. Fruit joke. Plus, he's also fruity.
Fair. My mind went to koala because they're literally constantly poisoning themselves when they don't
Fucking
have
drop bears.
to.
So, is anyone doing anything to try and help?
You think Temperance is just like kind of doing that thing where you like walk behind your drunk friends, just like, okay, this way, okay, this way, just trying to keep them straight.
Oh,
I mean, we've already established.
Lord
there's
needs
no-
to stop moving while I walk.
No, that's you moving. That's you moving, not the world.
I feel like you're wrong. Because it definitely feels like it is moving.
No. We're not doing this. I am right. Don't worry about it. Which direction are we going?
We honestly, outside of character, we don't know.
I
We
believe
have no idea.
I believe Harletto's answer to that question at the end of the last session was he's gonna guess the force is gonna take us there whether we like it or not.
That's fair. So basically, just start walking in a direction.
Essentially, that was Harletto's answer.
Seems fair enough.
All right, Tenacity, which direction have you started wandering? Which way am I hurting you?
Let's go.
Oh no!
Everybody follow the shambling man.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
I start walking southeast.
No.
What's the marching order for this drunk parade?
We're seeing it.
Tenacity, Temperance, Rowena, Bloodworth, Volpez, Arletto.
Okay. All right, I'm still setting up everything for this. All right, so you guys wander off pretty darn close to the path, if I do say so myself. Good job. And eventually the path actually forms back up under your feet and just wander a little bit, and you wind up right back here where you first started.
So pretty.
I think
So
I've seen that
deadly.
tree before.
Oh, goody, it's him.
Just as quickly as he appeared before. Mr. Hornmask shows up. And says to you, well done.
We cannot hear you.
Yeah.
Well done. You have earned an audience with the Queen.
Why does fruit make world move when I walk?
The fruit does not do that. You are just not very wise, it appears.
Temperance is just chuckling behind him.
And with
Not
that,
wrong.
he gestures with a skeletal, branch-like hand, and a new path opens up behind him. Not through trees, but through time, memory, and light filtered in amber. You know, almost like that sepia tone of like old photos. The veil parts like smoke in the wind, revealing a vast clearing where nothing ages and everything fades. Come, listen. The queen listens when regret tastes ripe.
I don't
And
like
you
that.
step in, and through that, you step first through a glade, but you wind up in the courtroom of the queen.
Rowena, that's a queen up there.
I know.
She's so much prettier than I thought she'd be.
Honestly, yes, she is.
She wears a very similar mask and looks at the person that guided you and says, Thornweft, thank you. I have been looking forward to meeting these strangers in our land. Her voice is like honey, and is both beautiful and terrifying in its weight. She looks to you guys and says, You offer me fruit born of anguish, pain softened by effort, by love. I accept, and in return will ask what all lost things ask. Hope. And she leans forward slightly and continues, But know this. In the autumn court, nothing is given freely. I am bound to fairness, and fair is never kind.
Outside of character. Once again, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Okay, particular character from a particular too long franchise.
Arletto is hanging at the back of the group, very much not saying a word, and looks slightly not thrilled to be here, but he's not saying anything. He doesn't want to risk offending anyone with anything he might say.
In
Especially since
the
that's a queen.
in the silence, she clarifies. She senses the hesitance and says, For example, a memory of a first kiss, a mother's lullaby, a moment of peace, a face you held close when the world cracked open. I do not consume these memories. They do not cease to exist. Serve them like leaves in amber. They will not rot, but they will no longer be yours. We do not deal in currency per se. We have no use for gold or silver. Memory is our currency in the Autumn Court. Because once memory is gone, what is left?
Tenacity will step forward. Still a little listless from earlier. But he will gingerly take a knee and put his trident um, laying across his knee. And he says, "You say memories are like currency, like things to be traded.
In a way, here in the Autumn Court, we preserve the memories that are given. We do not trade them back on.
You are coming in very softly.
You're cutting in and out.
All I want is my fan on. It's hot.
Fair.
Yeah.
All I want is my fan. Stupid fan drawing power. Here in the Autumn Court, while memory is a currency of sorts, we do not trade it as you would gold or silver for trinkets and things. We deserve it. That way, should you perish, the memory still is able to live on. Like,
I must ask, though, couldn't see. Actually, hold on. I retract that statement real quick because I wanna make sure that I'm not big braining this.
Yeah, remember your intelligence, bruh.
Yep.
the DM brain cell
You
away.
have one brain cell. No more, no less.
No less. No more, no less.
And it's still fighting for second place.
Mm-hmm. Somehow.
Once again, I have killed Arletto.
With the headache that Roll20 was giving him, I feel like that's going to be easy today.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Would it be fair? And again, I don't want to offend in your court, but would it be fair for me to ask a memory of yours of equal value in trade.
This is oh, I am not on the layer. Just so she can be seen. Sits and ponders this. That is a new request. No one has ever asked for one in return. But there is one thing I could give you. And she reaches out to shake your hand.
When she does, I will take the hammer that I tried giving the masked figure, hilt facing her, and clasp her hand with the hammer.
These are memories that are good memories. They're dear memories. They're ones that you want to remember, that you would want to live on, that she is asking for. That you would want to live on after tenacity is gone.
Okay.
So, like your first love's face, a mentor's last lesson, a sibling's name, secret you never told anyone, the story behind how you got that particular scar, or even the reason you started adventuring in the first place. Something like that.
Okay.
Would we still have some vague memory of it? Or would it just be gone from our minds?
In this case, unlike everything in the past, it will be gone.
Lopez does not have enough good memories. I'm going to let him keep his.
That's fair.
He does not have any to spare.
While you ponder this, I will just add for everybody's reference. This entire time after I've whispered to Rowena, Temperance is just in like the most awkward low curtsy ever. She's just like, we're in front of a queen. That's supposed to curtsy, right?
And Rowena's
Young
response
porcelain
to her
one.
saying that, oh, sorry.
Young porcelain one, there is no need to stay bowed so low. While I do appreciate the respect, you may stand.
She's gonna slowly stand back up and she's like looking at Rowena like, is this okay?
Rowena nods to her like, yes, it is.
And I apologize for all the different lines on this map.
It's okay.
I did my best to line them all up.
Yeah.
Just means it's more tiled than we thought.
Yeah.
Right. I think he would still give the hammer to her, but have the memory of mentoring the child on the forefront of his mind.
Your last lesson as a mentor. You're muted.
I
You're
think he's
muted.
talking to someone.
Oh, yeah, he's talking to someone.
Okay.
Essentially, your last lesson as a mentor. That is an interesting twist that I did not expect. But it still fits.
It's gonna bite me in the ass is what it's gonna do.
Yeah, but I think everything you do in this situation would, so.
Nick, I will let you choose. Pick a tool, language, or skill proficiency that would be representative of this. That would be tied to it.
He was half, but he was half giant. And the whole reason why he learned giant in the first place.
Remove it from your character sheet.
Okay.
You have forgotten, Tenacity has forgotten how to speak giant. As well as the memory of that last lesson with that child. It's completely gone out of your mind.
I'm so sad.
Now, for my end of the bargain, there was a young dwarf that came through here not too long ago. Last seen walking under the moon-bloomed branches in my sister's court of spring. However, he was singing a song that did not belong to him. He was a younger dwarf. Personality would fit right in the Feywild. Very tricky, very happy-go-lucky almost. Loved playing pranks. And you guys, as she's describing him, you guys would know that this description matches Shiloh.
Boy. Well, now we have a direction. Sort of. Which way is spring, essentially?
Let me open my map real quick because I don't remember what direction it is from you guys.
Because if we're following the seasons, we would need to either pass through winter territory to get there or summer territory to get there.
My Feywild is different.
Uh-oh.
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 So autumn is the northernmost. Summer
Okay.
is the southernmost.
Mm-hmm.
Winter in the east.
So spring's in the west.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Spring and winter directly across from each other.
Hmm.
Hey, I didn't want to do the stereotypical opposites across.
Mhm.
I want to change it up a little bit. So as she finishes sharing her side, golden leaves spiral around you two, and the queen's voice trails like the last breeze before frost. Spring waits for none, not even those who remember why they travel. She vanishes with the last petal of dusk. As dawn breaks in the Feywild, the horizon shifts. The air grows lighter, headier, and warm, with a mischievous scent of pollen and laughter. A thorny bridge unfurls before you, draped in buds just on the edge of bloom. Thorn weft appears one more time. Just a flicker in the trees. You seek spring, then follow folly. Trust nothing that rhymes. And if they offer honey, ask who they stole it from. He immediately vanishes before you guys can ask any questions.
Why did it have to be the Feywild?
Why couldn't it have been follow the butterflies?
We technically are following the butterflies. We're following them to spring. Could you please put that lovely quote into the note taker's corner?
Mhm.
Yes, I will.
Tink.
The one from Thornweft,
Yes.
or both of them?
The thing about the warning about spring.
Okay, yep. I will throw that in when we go on intermission.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So, as you guys are learning, the Feywild is a realm of powerful shifting energies, and the transition from the Autumn Court's somber influence to the burgeoning vibrancy of the Spring Court can be quite jarring. You got that can be quite jarring. To truly embrace the new life around you and to shed the lingering gloom of the Autumn Court, you must actively steady your mind and spirit against its residual influence. This is not a battle of steel, but of will. I need a wisdom save from everybody.
Okay.
Both my
And
characters,
if
right?
yeah, everybody.
Okay.
Do, 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 do.
12.
Let me find,
Oh,
because I
I
was
haven't
big
done that
brain
yet.
and didn't bookmark it.
I forgot to do a thing, so I will now correct that. Boop, boop, ba-dip.
I didn't bookmark the effects of the short-term emotional exhaustion.
Oh, fuck.
I just saw that. Oh,
Oh.
yeah, wisdom's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Wisdom
Well?
is not Rowena's for some reason.
Clearly not. Apparently, opposites attract in that regard.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to have something ready that I forgot about. Whoopsie doodles.
Where in the world did I put it?
Oh no.
What are you looking for?
You're telling a story tonight.
I really am. I'm supposed to be pretty good at this. Not tonight.
Oh.
All I want are the effects of short-term emotional exhaustion. Why didn't I leave that bookmark?
It's okay. We don't need it. It's fine.
I can find it for you. Give me 2 seconds. Should be able to find it for you. Oh, yep.
Part of it is I don't remember what session that was in.
I'm DMing it to you.
It would have been in session 5, I believe.
This is slightly
Apologies while we figure things out.
This is slightly out of order because it's yeah. I'm using the chat archive on Roll20.
Got it.
I'm using the chat archive on Roll20 to find it. So it's slightly
found
out of
it.
order. Okay.
Yeah, I found it. You're lucky you don't have this. You didn't have a disadvantage on it either. Tenacity.
Mm-mm.
Not that it mattered.
Mm-mm.
All right. So for those of you that rolled below a 15, which would be tenacity, Rowena,
Arletto.
and Arletto. You are struggling as you guys are getting into the spring court. You guys are struggling to fully dislodge the autumn court's insidious grasp. There are some lingering effects from being there. Like you still feel the chill from autumn. You still have a very melancholic, almost seductive whisper of uncertainty and self-doubt. And your senses are slightly dulled, as if a thin spectral veil of gloom is still kind of obscuring the world around you. Vibrant colors of spring aren't quite as vibrant. As you're hearing the birds start chirping, you hear discordant notes underneath them. For those of you that saved, a wave of profound clarity and renewed vigor washes over you. You manage to momentarily shake off the pervasive influence of the Autumn Court's magic, feeling a powerful sense of focus and mental fortitude. A subtle, unnatural chill recedes from your bones. The disturbing visions of decay fade entirely. And your shadow once again behaves as it should, actually following your form. You feel truly present and unburdened, ready to face the wonders of the Spring Court.
Oh, goody. Also, Palith, I sent you the
So-
thing that I kept on forgetting to send you.
Yeah. So you have this bridge in front of you. The withered grandeur of the Autumn Court finally yields, not to more decay, but to a startling, almost overwhelming burst of vibrant life. Before you, contrasting sharply with the somber hues you've grown accustomed to, lies a living bridge of... God bless it, I forgot.
What?
I'll give you one guess on what kind of flowering vine this is.
Is it roses?
Flowers.
Yes! Again! So an update, the rose counter.
Beautiful.
Y'all have a rose counter?
At this point, we may as well.
This means that I need to find my dice with roses set in them and add them to her dice collection now.
Yeah, because this is just rose themed. This is a rose campaign, and you know what? I am here for it. Because that's also part of my character's themes and everyone else's at this point. If you haven't written roses into your backstory, do so now. Just to fuck with things.
I have the perfect spot for mine as well. So
I already did.
Excellent.
I already
Oh,
did.
we
Right.
already
And
added ours.
For Rowena, they already are.
yeah, they already are in her backstory.
They're in Arletta's backstory,
Oh,
although I haven't
man.
actually written that bit into it yet because I haven't done that NPC doc. But they're there.
I definitely wrote them in to
I already
differences
did.
right after.
Mine have been in theirs from the beginning.
Anyway, roses. A living bridge of vibrant rose vines. It stretches in a delicate yet robust arch, gracefully over a crystal clear stream that babbles with an unnatural sweetness. The stream's surface reflects a soft perpetual twilight, a distinct shift from the gloom of the autumn court. The bridge itself pulsates with, again, undeniable life, a vibrant green and lush crimson as if each fiber hums with eager vitality. Its entire surface is a soft yielding carpet of dew-slick petals, each one glistening with iridescent moisture that catches the light like scattered jewels. A deep resonant hum seems to emanate from the very structure of the bridge, a low thrumming that you can feel in your very bones. A powerful testament to a raw, joyful magic of the spring court washing over you after the oppressive stillness of...
Yes. Figuring out
Brain,
a word.
why did you type winter? This is what I get for not proofreading my work.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Of autumn's domain. The air here is noticeably warmer, carrying the intoxicating scent of blooming flowers and fresh earth. A stark, delightful contrast to the scent of decaying leaves and damp stone you recently endured. What do you guys do?
Okay. Bloodworth is gonna nudge Tenacity and say, "The stream looks beautiful. Go take a drink."
He's gonna look back at you with the most vile look on his face. He's gonna say, "Why don't you go do it? In fact, go piss in it too." And he's just gonna walk very grumpily.
Volpes had sent warning glare to Bloodworth, was prepared to stop Tenacity, chuckles, and just stays where he is.
My charm is not working.
Volpes will kind of like lower his head a bit next to Bloodworth's and just whisper, "You had charm. I have seen them."
Ooh,
It just walks off.
laughs. Temperance just laughs and follows along on the bridge.
who of you has a proficiency in Arcana?
Arletto.
Not me.
Not I.
Neither of mine.
Just Arletto.
It's just the
Just
winter.
Arletto.
Arletto!
Yep.
Give me an Arcana check.
Damn. 13. So roll.
DC was 12.
Hey.
So, woven into the very structure of this bridge is a residual magic of the spring court. You can you can almost see the subtle rhythmic pulses of energy throwing through the vine. Almost identifying the patterns of growth as intentionally cultivated rather than wild. You also see the telltale shimmer of fey glamour that makes the petals so impossibly vibrant. A subtle magic that influences perception just barely. Almost like a perception filter on Doctor Who. This insight confirms the bridge is a deliberate creation of the Feywild, rather than a mere natural growth. A testament to the Spring Court's dominion over life and beauty. How many of you have a somewhat a deeper than like surface level connection to the Feywild? Think about your backstories.
None,
did
unless
not
you
say
think
that-
any of the books I read were about it.
None unless you think Llewellyn would be connected. That's the only thing that I can see as being connected to the Feywild.
I would call, in your case, Llewellyn Fey.
Okay, so then yeah, I do have some connection to the Feywild then.
Arletto's
I
been to the
just
Feywild
didn't
a few
realize I had done that
times,
to myself.
but his only real connection, to be honest, is probably Niblet. So.
Oh,
And the island itself. I'll add that.
yeah. Arletto, Niblet takes off across the bridge.
God damn it!
Oh no! Oh, I shouldn't have reminded you.
But you see he is playing. He is comfortable and he's just bouncing around the flowers.
I mean, yeah.
Temperance just bolts forward and is just bouncing around the flowers with him.
What are y'all's familiars doing?
Charmer has probably started rolling around in like a particular patch of like almost catgrass like flowers and just has her wings spread, enjoying the sunlight, just purring on her back with her belly up and just doing one of these. Just rolling happy cat noises, happy Tressum noises.
I'd like to say that Murmur is trying to do what he usually does when he senses strong emotions from tenacity. Like he's essentially an emotional support animal, but when that doesn't work, he goes off and starts playing with the other familiars.
Pearl has been sleeping very nicely inside my armor until I'm now jumping around in flowers. And I imagine she's probably starting to like crawl up my shoulder, like, what is going on?
Why is everything bouncing? My bed was bouncing. What is happening?
And Mirzel is just looking up from behind Rowena's shield, just watching everything curiously.
I will
For
note.
the rest of you,
Sorry.
this is the first time you guys have actually seen Bloodworth's familiar.
Little baby.
Little pseudo dragon.
Little baby.
Something I will note for Niblet. He has noticeably not actually been with Arletto directly since midway through the maze. He has been either with Temperance if she'd let him, or just been following along beside the party. He seems a little bit skittish around Arletto still. But, he was getting a little bit closer to Arletto as they came through, and then he saw where they were and went jumped off and crossed into the field to play in the flowers.
All right. So as you guys are going off, following your familiars, some of y'all playing with them, I need you guys to make an acrobatics check. Each one of y'all.
Oh.
I did not give myself.
Because while this is a field of flowers, the petals are slick.
Of course, it's the Feywild.
What can't it be in athletics?
Wait, spring dew. That's what's making them slick. It's spring dew. That would actually happen.
Like the very act of placing weight on them is causing like a slight give, almost like stepping on a wet sponge.
And there goes Bloodworth. Right on his ass.
How badly did he roll?
Well, on Looney Tunes moment of step swoop.
So Arletto, Rowena. Tenacity is going through. I know what's happening. The dice know what's going to happen later. Dice
The
know
dice are
exactly what's
definitely-
going to happen.
I know.
The dice are in on this. So for those of you that got less than a 15, you stumble and your feet slide very precariously on the wet petals. The jarring movement disturbs a particular volatile cluster of blossoms nestled within the bridge's surface, causing them to burst open and release a shimmering, vibrant cloud of hallucinatory pollen.
Oh.
Woo, drugs.
You are essentially
It's not gonna
under
go well.
you are essentially under the effects of the confusion spell. Oh,
Oh no.
Fuck.
Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Could have been
Yeah,
worse.
yeah,
Fuck.
could have been.
Could have been worse.
Alright.
you see the bridge's rose vines like contort and almost like into hostile grasping thorns, like what is that, plant growth?
Yeah.
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 grasping
Almost like
vines.
plant growth. Grasping vines, that's what I was thinking of. Lashing out to ensnare you. The bank across the way appears to be adorned, like just filled with impossibly beautiful, enticing flowers, but they're just out of reach, but you really want to grab one. For the one,
We have
for
offended
those
the
of
flowers.
for those of you that passed that, you see Arletto, Bloodworth, and Tenacity freeze for a second. Their eyes go wide. Like in the cartoons when they the cartoons when they go a little loopy.
Mm-hmm.
They flail for a second from losing their footing. And
I put in my notes that y'all are now high.
God damn it. Even my dice know the story. Tenacity. You start reaching for the flowers that you see on the bank that are just out of reach.
Okay.
Just inching closer and closer and closer to the edge of the bridge.
Oh, that flower is so pretty. I bet it would look good on Lysithia. Let me grab.
What is the other three doing?
Still hopping around with animals like a Disney princess.
going to go over to Tenacity and I'm going to pick him up. And I'm going to pull him away from the flower he's trying to grab because this does not feel correctly. I'm going to set him, Bloodworth, and Arletto away from those flowers until they lose their high.
Bloodworth will fight you the entire time you pick him up.
I will fucking princess carry you. Do not put it past me.
Opposed athletics.
All right.
Oh,
Bloodworth and Volpez.
What do I need to roll?
shit.
Because he gets the choice of acrobatics or athletics because this is, I guess, a grapple. So I forget. What do I get to roll?
Athletics.
It would be opposed athletics.
So I'm rolling my athletics as well.
Ye-
Nope, I lost you. You fell. I dropped you. You know what? No, yeah, that's what happened. I fucking dropped your ass.
Fair.
You fall and roll into the stream.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
No.
I'm sorry, I made it worse. Volpez.
okay. How deep is this stream? Like, is it a shallow or?
No.
And how fast is it going?
Oh, God. Why did you have to struggle? Why did I have to roll shittily?
Why'd you have to
Aren't
pick
you
about-
just
this up?
fly?
It is where you guys are. No, Everest.
The
Honey.
baby! Cat cameo!
What?
Everyone meet Everest. She is a menace to society, and I love her.
That's all cats should be.
Yes.
The stream is about 5.5 foot deep,
Okay, so he can stand up in it depending on how fast
and
it's flowing.
it's not rushing, but it's not calm either. Little Miss.
But I want to help DM, Papa. You're not paying enough attention to me, Papa. Look at that little face. Hello, little baby.
You're just so innocent. It's okay.
Yeah. She is now in air
Yeah,
jail. Yes, there is a baby.
it is not. It's not rushing. It's not fast, but it's definitely. It's got a little speed to it.
So it'd be hard for me to stand up in the water with my high state.
It'd be a little difficult.
All right, Volpez will walk over since he caused this part of the mess. Reach in and pick him up.
Grab him by the back of the.
Oh yeah,
Of
no,
his
I'm
rose.
scruffing him. I
just-
scruff him.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I saw. And I pick him up, and he's just a wet cat.
He just kind of like shakes him a little bit.
This is probably the moment that Temperance starts paying attention, and anyone who's not high and paying attention to her, she just now has her journal and she's just staring at them.
He just turns the wet man to look at him. Don't struggle. And just tosses him over to the others.
Once he finally stands up, he looks back at you and says, I could have gotten myself out of that. Before stumbling from being high.
Yeah, he just looks at you like, what the? He is 110% already done with the Feywild. He is currently on the same opinions of Arletto about this place. Of I don't want to be here.
If anyone is looking at Tenacity's eyes, they're completely dilated. He is looking at a spot in one of the trees. And he says, "Oh, that bird is talking to me. That bird is talking to me."
Lopez is going to look at Tempe, and while part of his expression is essentially blocked because of his mask, you can see the puppy dog look in the one singular eye you're able to see of "help me."
It's just like,
Bubba. So it's tenacity. You're looking at this bird. It's beautiful. Probably one of the most beautiful cardinals tenacity has ever seen. Welcome to spring.
Oh, it just said,
What, you-
"Welcome to spring."
You've never seen a talking cardinal before?
birds don't talk, stupid.
Well, my name is Charles.
Oh, whoa.
What's your name?
My, uh, hey, Temperance, should I say my actual name or my other name?
She folds up her journal.
Oh,
The other
no.
name. The other name. Don't say anything. Slams her journal shut and just starts walking towards Tenacity. We don't say anything.
My name's Tenacity.
God damn it, no. No, you don't give the Fae your name.
Tenacity.
You don't give the Fae your name.
We'll have to remember that for the next time I see you. And he flies off.
I said don't say it. As I'm now just sitting next to him, like, what are you doing, Tenacity?
That was pretty bird.
It was a very pretty
That was
bird.
a very pretty bird.
It was a very pretty bird, but birds don't talk.
But it did.
I don't. It's okay. Do you need water? Do you need food?
About this time, get my composure.
Arletto's apparently the quiet high because he's just like probably laying there fucking starfished.
I just see Arletto just like sprawled out on the grass,
Yeah.
just staring at me. This guy like, why the Feywild?
Have you felt these petals? Why the Feywild?
Bloodworth walked into a tree.
Stumbling as
About this
trying
time.
to get.
About this time, this acid trip, let's call it what it is, starts wearing off. You guys start coming down, and you start getting that afterglow.
Ooh.
Things start to return to normal. You just feel really fucking good right now.
Oh. Temperance, remind me next time to not wear sandals on wet flowers.
That is a sentence.
I mean, if you spent more time practicing how to balance, maybe you wouldn't have any problem standing on your 2 feet.
You know, usually I'd have an argument for you, but I feel really good and really fuzzy, so I don't really care.
She's just gonna boop him on the nose and then go back to her journal while she's sitting next to him.
Meanwhile, Orletto kind of sits up a little bit too fast and then shakes himself and continues muttering about the Feywild.
And Bloodworth looks at Rowena and says, "Should we find a secluded spot?"
Not the after effects of horny.
That. Yeah, no.
Nah, not with the way that character is.
I mean, the afterglow. You would be feeling very. Oh, what's the word I had? I just had it.
Euphoric.
Yes, that's the word.
That's a big word for my stupid
You'd
mind.
feel as if you already had anyway, so
Yeah.
you're like
Okay,
basking
there we
in
go.
the after effect. Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
had the greatest one of your life, and now you're on cloud
Mhm.
nine.
Post
Okay, that makes
clarity.
more sense.
Post fun clarity.
So in that case, Bloodworth would end up leaning against a tree, just staring off into space.
I'm about to say smoking a cigarette.
If he had any, he probably would.
So fun fact,
Guys,
cigarettes could actually exist, but they would be made, instead of from tobacco, they would be made from clove.
clove cigarettes are actually really good.
They would actually
I like
exist. It's
those.
just a different kind of, the parchment would be kind of different from what we have nowadays, but they would exist. So he could
Mhm.
have a pack on him.
Can we just say he does?
I was gonna say, do you want him to have a pack?
Sure.
Okay, how's he lighting it?
You're a magic user. Snap your
Yeah.
fingers, a little bit of flame.
Yeah, there we go. That works.
Okay.
Try not to reveal shit
All
too,
right.
so.
So you guys have your fun. You're standing there drenched, Bloodworth.
Yeah.
Cigarettes are wet, but they're drying. You light one up. Everyone's just relaxing and coming back down. And you finish the trek across. And emerging from the final vibrant arch of the budding bridge, a sight that could only exist in the very heart of the Feywild unfolds before you. Dramatically, as the Feywild, and particularly spring and whatnot is, the dense forest canopy parts, revealing the town of Bloomhaven, a Fey settlement unlike anything the party has ever seen. It is a living testament to the Spring Court's boundless creativity, its unwavering optimism, and its deep connection animating forces of life. The town itself is a breathtaking marvel, laid out as a perfect circle of pastel laid out as a perfect circle of pastel petal cobblestones. Each quote unquote stone is not a solid rock, but a large, durable blossom of various soft hues. God bless it. Lavender, rose, daffodil, and sky blue. That
Rose
delicate-
counter, I
that-
believe, is
that-
now at 6.
Yeah, at least. That gently pulsate and shift color as you walk over them, as if the very ground breathes beneath your feet. From the central ring, organic pathways radiate outwards like the delicate vine of a leaf, all gracefully converging on a sparkling lily fountain at the very heart of the settlement. The fountain doesn't merely reflect light, it glows with an inherent soft luminescence, bathed in a perpetual dawn light that never strengthens to full day, nor fades to true night. This ethereal glow casts everything in a gentle dreamlike shimmer, comforting contrast to the recent gloom. The very buildings of Bloomhaven are living marvels, not constructed but grown. They are expertly woven from living vines, blossoming flowers. Their structures seem to breathe and gently sway with unseen currents. Their colors suddenly shift and deepen with the passage of a passing cloud. I can't talk with a damn tonight. Or shimmer with a gentle breeze, responding almost imperceptibly to the emotional currents of the Fae who inhabit them. The air here is thick with the sweet, heady scent of nectar and fresh blossom, a perfume so rich and pervasive it feels almost tangible, washing away the lingering chill of the autumn court and invigorating the senses. Everywhere you look, hummingbirds with jewel-toned wings, iridescent butterflies, and miniature glowing sprites flit through the air like living jewels, adding to the sense of boundless, joyful life that permeates each inch of this magical place. As you step fully into Bloomhaven, your presence does not go unnoticed. At the town's welcoming threshold, designate a point where the petal cobblestones truly begin, or perhaps emerging gracefully from the central lily fountain. You can't quite tell which. You are greeted by Mayor Amaranth Bloomgleam. Amarynth. She is a vision of spring court elegance, all slender fey figure whose gown is literally woven of fresh living petals, shimmering and rustling with every movement as if she is one with the blossom themselves. Her eyes sparkle like morning dew catching the first sunlight, holding an ancient wisdom that belies her seemingly youthful appearance, tempered by boundless optimism and a quiet strength. Her smile is genuine and radiant, offering a warm, if somewhat formal, welcome to the newcomers. With a delicate and gentle gesture, she gives each one of you a small goblet crafted from a perfectly dew-kissed lily pad, and it is filled with an effervescent petal wine. The wine is sweet and subtly intoxicating. You guys take a drink from it?
Arletto he takes it, he holds it in his hand, and he does not drink from it.
Temperance thinks about drinking from it, and then she looks at Volpez, and then she just kind of lowers it for a second and just keeps looking at Volpez.
Volpez actually, in the politest way he could, he kind of like brought his hand to his chest and politely like bowed to her, placing up a hand. No, thank you. Just trying to be as polite as possible and just in general deny the goblet and saying, no, thank you. He knows his manners.
What brings you guys?
What?
Oh, what brings you guys to Bloomhaven? My name is Mayor Amaranth Bloomgleam. And we are a small community, but we do take care of each other as well as the wanderers through the Feywild. We have no need for the tricks of the unseelie. Here in Bloomhaven, we just help those that are passing through, offering direction, rest, food, without the normal, crap. Stigma is the only word I can think of. The normal trickery of the Fae and, food. Where else where it is not recommended you eat what a Fae gives you. Our food is safe, and anyone that wants to do an insight check on that can.
I was
Mhm.
about to ask.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like that one, like things like this, you don't even have to ask. Just make them.
Yeah.
Oh my word!
Alright.
I'm rolling like shit today.
ING Jesus has had enough of ya horny shit.
Yes.
Even
Ooh.
even with that 11 though, you sense that she is being sincere with this. There are no tricks in Bloomhaven. Only rest, fun, relaxation, and the odd wear.
Where's?
Yes, we have multiple stores, shops here in Bloomhaven. We have the Bloom and Brew Apothecary, whose specialty is potions and whimsical concoctions. We have the Verdant Armory, who the shop owner, Ironroot Greenhand, specializes in crafting living wood weapons, arc reinforced armor, and carved shields with natural motifs, and even occasionally the odd seed pouch grenade. We have the Whispering Vial, where they specialize in perfumes and toxins, such as laughter draughts, memory mists, dream weaves, and truth serums disguised as pleasant scents. We have
Mhm.
we have the Laughing Blossom. That is our tavern and our inn. Where they specialize in pedal meads, face song performances, nectar dishes, and glowing berry tarts. That is a favorite of mine. Those are delicious. And finally, we have the Curios of the New Dawn. Run by a pixie, a little pixie whose specialty is illusionary trinkets, mirror roses, prismatic pollen bombs,
Roses.
shifting shifting scarves of starlight. So we do have quite the selection.
Just a quick clarification on the insight. Everyone could tell that she is telling the truth.
100% sincere.
Okay.
Then Tenacity will take a sip of the goblet that she gave.
Volpez will just kind of like nod to Tempe, letting her know, go ahead. He's still not going to partake, but now it's just because of the reason of it's alcohol. He doesn't want to drink any alcohol while he's technically on a mission.
She doesn't even hesitate at the nod, just
Yeah.
Alcohol?
So this is a carbonated wine.
Ooh,
The,
It's
the
sparkling.
goblet that the mayor gave each of you
Mhm.
when she first showed up. It's a light carbonation that tickles the tongue, and it once you drink on it, it gives you a feeling of lightheartedness and a subtle warmth that effortlessly chases away whatever remaining traces the autumn court's chill or the confusion and high from the budding bridge. Actually, this removes your emotional crap. What is it? What do I? Yeah,
Short-term emotional exhaustion. Or something like that.
yeah. Short-term emotional exhaustion. My brain is cooked from this heat, and we haven't even hit the worst of it yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
worst is supposed to come in 2 days.
Yeah, it's supposed to be over 100 degrees each of the next 2 days. For me. It was only like 80 today. Maybe 90.
Lucky.
But
We were in the
Oh.
90s today.
We're getting a light
All right.
rain tomorrow.
that's good.
So, where does everyone want to go?
It is not good because light rain means more humidity.
Bloodworth is wanting to check out that armory. And see if they've got anything that would be, in his words, up to par with his broken rapier.
All right. Anyone going with, or is he going on his own?
Arletto
Rowena's gonna be following.
Arletto
Sorry.
also wants to go to the armory.
Alright.
Temperance is gonna lean over to Tenacity and say, "Do you want to go look at the potions with me?"
Sure.
Going to the apothecary or the vial? Whispering vial.
Ooh, probably the Whispering Vial. It's not so pretty.
It sounds so enticing.
Yeah.
Alright.
Volpez is going to go and sit down near the fountain and just kind of play with Charmer's soft paws. This place is too bright and colorful for his sensibilities. He just needs a sit.
Fair.
Especially with all the emotional turmoil of the last who knows how long. He
That's
just
so-
needs to fucking sit.
That's so very weird because it's so very my vibe.
Yeah.
This is overstimulated.
He is overstimulated. He has been going through an enormous amount of emotional turmoil. He almost lost control a couple of times. He needs a sit. He's going to go and do a sit.
So, as he sits by the fountain, Lopez, you see some of the children that were playing. Look over, see you, stop, and then they see Charmer. They run over.
He just lets go Charmer, who obviously is now all kinds of puffed up, got her fur going and everything, her wings flare to impress the children.
Can we pet her? Can we pet her?
He nods.
They all come over and start petting her, loving on her. All that is going on. let's take a 15 intermission.
Why did my camera turn off?
So
Okay. Turn us.
we will be back in 15 minutes and pick up with the shopping episode.
Use butts.
I believe the
Eh.
second half of that came through.
I am done tormenting Torsten for now.
And
But I am
welcome back. Uh,
Lovely lady.
where were we?
Shopping episode.
We were at
Shopping!
my earballs.
I don't apologize.
You almost just made me choke on my ice cream.
Nice.
All right. So we are going to start with Arletto, Rowena, and Bloodworth. You guys head over to the Verdant Armory. Where is Verdant? There he is. You walk in, and you are greeted by a treant sapling. Hello. My name is Ironroot Greenhand, and welcome to the Verdant Armory. How may I help you today?
I am looking for a replacement for this broken rapier. And he presents his broken rapier to him.
How did you manage to break this?
I used it in a way not meant for a rapier.
Arletto chuckles quietly behind him.
Well, take it from me. Whilst anything can be a hammer, not everything can be used in a way it's not intended to. You have to take care of your tools for them to take care of you.
I'll keep that in mind. So, can you fix this, or is there something better?
Fix, I cannot. And I only have 3 different weapons in stock right now. I, in fact, just finished the last one. And he pulls out a living longsword, a sylvan spear, and a verdant composite bow.
You said longsword, spear, and a bow.
Yes.
Give me 1 second.
Longbow or short bow?
He said composite bow,
Wood.
which
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
composite.
which is
I think that would fall under a short bow.
Yeah, which Bloodworth is not proficient in. He's only proficient in hand crossbows, if I remember correctly,
oops.
and simple weapons. So I'm just checking to see what all simple weapons fall under.
Uh,
Now, I could If none of these catch your attention, I could craft something. It would take a couple days. But I could.
The spear is simple. I do not believe the longsword is.
No, longsword is
Yeah.
martial.
Spear is simple. But yeah.
I need to actually double check Carletto's proficiencies real quick.
Can I check the spear, see if I like it?
Of course. He hands it to you. You take it in your hands, and you feel that it's made out of essentially what would be in our world ironwood. A very strong, slightly flexible, but very durable wood. It's almost like an obsidian tip. Very elegant, beautifully carved. What do you think?
It's nice. It'll be something until I can get a rapier again.
If you are set on a rapier, I can craft one for you. Like
And
I
how
said,
much would that cost?
depends on what type of wood you want. It depends on the details. On the low end, would be probably about 100 gold. High end, about 200, 250. It all depends on how long it takes and how difficult the wood is to work with.
I think I'll just stick with the spear for now until I can find somewhere that does metal.
That is perfectly fine and understandable. The spear is 90 gold.
It's all right. He forks over the 90 gold.
3 to 12. The spear, and I'll send it to you. The spear is a +1 spear, so +1 to attack rolls. On a
All right.
crit, it sprouts thorny vines that deal an extra 1d4 piercing.
Now, how often is it that I get a crit in this game?
Oh,
I think I've only
depends.
gotten one.
Carletto's gotten a grand total of 1 crit in this entire game, and it was last session on the first stack roll of the game.
He looks over at Rowena and Arletto. Can I interest you in anything? I have weapons, I have armor, I have shields. And he looks around for a second. He did make some grenades.
How much
Don't
are,
tell anyone.
how much are those grenades?
Anywhere from 10 to 20 gold apiece. Depends on which one. Would you like to see it?
I think I would.
All right. He pulls out three different trays, each with like 6 grenades in each. Points to one. This is the Thornseed grenade. It has about a 10-foot blast radius, and when it goes boom, vines sprout for about 1 minute, and the area becomes difficult to traverse. Points to the second one. These are what I call spore burst vials. Their burst radius is 15 feet, and anything within that must must be able to handle themselves very well, or they would feel really, really sick for about a minute. And then points at the last one. These are the seedling smoke bombs. They create a 20-foot cloud of a harmless but fragrant smoke. It makes the area very heavily obscured, but it does not last long. I found it dissipates within about a minute.
Would I guess that the smoke bombs are the most expensive?
Actually, no. The smoke bombs are the least. They are 10 gold. The spore burst are the expensive ones. They took some. They took a lot of testing and extra materials. In fact, this new shop just sprouted up, and the purveyor over there had very unique spores. Said she got them from a friend of hers. Bubba, I saw that face. So there was a little extra cost.
Arletto is gonna think for a moment, and then he's gonna ask, could I feel the longsword?
Of course. Hands it over. This longsword, while made of wood, is very sharp. And just only one time per day. It can animate to fight on its own for about a minute.
Oh. How much is it?
This longsword is it's quite pricey. Not quite as much as the bow, though. It is 120 gold. But weapons are not cheap.
No, they're not. Oh, right, I did that. Okay. I was looking at my funds and I thought I had less than I should, and that's because I'd put some of it in platinum as well. Okay, that makes more sense.
And like I told your friend there, staring at Bloodworth, trying to figure out how to describe him. I
Tall,
can always
dark,
craft
menacing.
something.
Purple and horny.
I can always craft something.
I think I will take the longsword and one of those smoke bombs. And he reaches into a pouch and he hands her 100 gold, and that would be 3 platinum, right? Platinum is
Yeah,
10
100
gold.
and
Yeah, so
yeah,
100 gold. 100 gold and 3 platinum.
Yeah, that's right.
okay. My brain wouldn't want to do wanting to do the math thing. Now, no. All arms and armor here are crafted from magically nurtured wood, reinforced with living bark, and carved with spring-cut motifs. These prices do reflect the unique living wood materials and minor enchantments employed by the Verdant Armory. The Verdant Armory is not responsible for any loss of limb, aiming, or life.
Gotta cover your legal bases.
Not the fine print.
Oh yeah.
Always gotta have the fine print.
And I thought we were
Mhm.
in the Feywild, not the Hells. He's gonna say as he takes the sword.
And you, little lady. What can I help you
Do you
with?
have do you have any shields similar to this one? And she shows him her shield.
Well, I have a few choices, and he puts the grenades away. Turns around, rummages a little bit, pulls out 3 different shields. I have the Oak Blossom shield. It is 100 gold, and once per day, whether you can use magic or not, you can cast the Entangle spell, but only centered on yourself. I haven't figured out how to send it out of the shield. What's the second one? This is the carved vinewood buckler. It is 75 gold. I it helps you actually keep your footing some when you're being shoved in a fight. And this is my favorite shield to craft. This is the Thornbloom Tower shield. It is the most expensive at 180 gold. But if you are attacked, and they do manage to hit you, it will bristle with thorns and pierce them. Not for much, but it will hurt. It will remind them of what it feels like.
I'll take the last one you just showed me.
All right.
180,
That one
right?
adds, yep, 180 gold. That
All
one
right.
adds +2 to her AC.
Oh, it's not for her.
I kind of fit in it, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, it adds +2 to AC. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No.
I'm satisfied. Arletta says, hefting the longsword and feeling its balance and nodding.
All right. So we are going to switch over to siblings.
Everything's
You
just
guys-
so pretty here.
I know it smells really nice in here too.
And I think, it matches my armor. I blend in
It
pretty well.
does.
Do you think
my
this place
goodness.
is like one of the ones in those like fairy tale books that I used to read? Because it sounds a lot like some of them.
Possibly. I remember you reading some of those books to me, and then it does fit some of those descriptions. Oh my goodness. Since it matches your armor, you should probably try and get a job here.
You think anyone's hiring?
Possibly.
Oh, maybe I could draw people by the fountain when we're done.
Oh, you could?
Let's shop first.
Yeah.
So you guys walk into the Whispering Vial. Where is she? And you are greeted by a satyr man. Hello. My name is Frederick Songleaf. And welcome to the Whispering Vial. How may I help you today?
Well, I just heard about your shop and it sounded pretty cool, and they said that you might have like potiony things, but what's your favorite thing you have for sale?
Oh, right now, my favorite thing. Oh, it is hard to choose. That is like trying to choose favorite child.
It's okay, I won't tell the others.
He chuckles. Well, right now, I really like this, I call it the Fade Dream Catcher. All you do is apply it behind your ears, and it makes you essentially immune to having nightmares. And it makes you just a little better at fighting off some of those, bad thought almost like psychic attacks for like 8 hours. I think it has something to do with not having the nightmares. I don't know.
Hey, Moss!
Let me fucking give that to Voltes. Damn.
Hey, Temperance.
Yes?
I wonder if one of our more spoopy companions would benefit from this. I wonder if their current outbursts are because of nightmares.
I mean, I also don't like nightmares. Do you only have the one?
That is, you asked my favorite. That is my favorite one.
Okay.
I have I have like 8 of everything right now. Business has been slow. That is, it is 10 gold for one vial. But it's just a dab behind the ears. The vial lasts a long time.
Hey, Temperance.
Yeah.
You buy 3, I buy 3.
I buy 3, you buy 4.
Who's the first one for?
Me.
Oh. Sure, why not?
Alright, so that will be 30 gold from you, young lady, and 40 gold from you.
Here
Hand
you
it
go.
over.
Mechanically, it is a +1 on saves versus psychic effects,
Nice.
and immune to nightmares.
Where was that when we were in the autumn court?
I was about to say.
Sometimes you gotta take a different path. Okay. What else do you have for sale?
So I make laughing draughts, which can make people laugh from as much of as a giggle, which will help you with your performances some. I can make people just laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh for about a minute with another. I've got one that the druids can make a giant feast. I have
Can
one
they
that
do
can
that?
they can do that.
Of like anything? Could it be like a feast of candy?
They can make it however you want. But however, this one you apply to your throat. Like you rub it on your throat and it'll be like you just had one of those feasts. And it works for like 6 people. The most I've tried it on anyway.
Hmm.
That would have been so handy on the ship. I wouldn't have had to peel so many
Mhm.
potatoes. Let me look, my nails have never been the same.
True. But look at how strong your hands are now.
That's true.
Good
But I don't
care
want
given.
them to be strong.
Hmm. I remember some of the maidens on the ship benefiting from those strong fingers.
I don't know what you're talking about. That never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna glare at him.
And I have one that with just a single puff of this mist. You don't have to be very wise, but average, about as wise as the average Joe on the street. Otherwise, you will burst into uncontrollable chuckles for 6 to 12 seconds. I can't get that one to last longer. That is what my ex-wife said.
There it is.
How much is that one?
That one is only 5 silver. That is also what my ex-wife said. There's a reason why she is my ex.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you also have 8 of those?
Yes, I do.
I would like all 8, please.
Oh, you guys are wiping me out on some of my stock. I appreciate it. So that is 40 silver.
Here you go.
I also have memory mist, which can affect the memory in different ways. Some help you with remembering things that happened, so mechanically history checks or insight checks for about an hour. Some help you remember memory that you lost for about 10 minutes. That's about as long as I've figured out that one would last. Another one, say you lose something, an item, and you cannot remember where you put it. This one will let you cast I don't remember which classes it's open to. So, locate objects spell.
There's a potion we
Mm.
all need
Mhm.
in real life.
IRL. Mhm.
Right.
Not the remember all.
Seriously, though. And at least this one tells you where it is, too.
And what you forgot.
Uh-huh.
How much?
I have another one that, with one spray of it, mechanically you get advantage on a single investigation or perception check to recall or spot forgotten details. Couldn't figure out how to word that one in character. And then the last one for the memories I have is one that just a drop on your tongue lets you replay one moment from the last hour as like a vivid sensory flash, like you're actually reliving it. My ex-wife never used that one.
Oh.
You know, maybe it is a good thing that you are no longer with this woman, because it sounds like it was very painful.
Yeah,
It was something. It was something.
Interesting.
maybe she needs one of those laughing potions. She sounds like she doesn't laugh a lot.
No, she didn't, and I couldn't get any of them to work on her.
Tenacity
Oh,
is
steady.
going to scrawl something on a piece of paper and hand it to the shopkeep, and he's going to say, "Open this later. Um, when you're done with business, and then come seek me out."
I'm sorry. Are you trying to pick up one of the shopkeepers?
In the Feywild?
The audacity, the
Yeah.
bravery. I'm here for it.
Temperance sees
The
this thing
lion-
and just gets really interested in the
The lion, the witch,
The
and the
li-
audacity of this
the audacity
bitch.
of this bitch.
Just okay. I've heard this
He
before.
he takes it, kind of peeks it open, turns red as a cherry, tucks it in the pouch on his hip, and that's it.
That's not enough.
There you go. I have sent it to.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yes.
Yes, read it
Yes.
aloud. Share it with the class.
If you can. If you can't read it aloud, we understand.
Yeah, obviously. Let's see if he
I'll let your
even can read it.
imaginations wander.
I think our
Oh,
DM
I'll
just
let your
no.
blushed.
wander.
He is. Don't you be acting all innocent over there. You are the opposite of. God damn, we don't
And
even
then
have a bard in the party. We just have the personality of two of them.
I was about to comment on that.
Right.
This is a paladin. Are we sure this is a paladin and not a bard?
I'm wondering.
He regains his composure and continues. And I do have these truth serums that are. I've managed to disguise them as almost like a cologne or an air freshener. There's one where with one whiff, you can't speak deliberate lies for 1 hour. Another one, a dab on the wrist. The person you are asking a question of. Must be a little wiser than the average Joe. Or have to answer that question truthfully within 10 minutes of it getting applied. There's one that is almost like, those little air fresheners that you spritz. What is my hand doing?
Mm.
Yeah, you do.
But it was doing the whole hand spritz.
Yeah.
Anything within 5 feet of it. Within that, like a 5-foot area. Must be actually kind of, charismatic and be good at hiding things. Otherwise, hidden motives will be revealed for about a minute. Another one comes in a small vial, and one little puff of it will make you better at deceiving an opponent for about 10 minutes. And then in a itty bitty little sprayer. Almost like, what are they? Like the little trial size sprayers. Because it doesn't take much. Any target within 5 feet of the spray must be at least middlingly wise. Or they have to speak a short truth, like a yes or no.
No.
How much for the one that helps you remember things?
Which one? The one that recovers a lost memory for like 10 minutes?
Da.
That one? That one is 3 gold. And I do have 8 of them.
I shall take 3.
Takes the gold. Sees the almost longing look in Tenacity's eyes. And when he hands you the 3 vials, he palms you a 4th.
Thank you, friend. Now, the one that you cannot tell a deliberate lie if you're not wise enough. How much for that one?
That one is 6 gold.
I'll take 2.
Alright. And you the 2 vials, takes the 12 gold. Anything else I can help you two with?
I think that
Um,
is it for me.
Is there a candy store in town?
Put one in.
You can make one up.
I put one, like I had one in mind. Not a dedicated candy store. However, the Laughing Blossom Tavern does have a lot of sweet treats. Not candy, just sweet treats.
That'll do.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Now, Voltez,
Yep.
you are sitting at the fountain, letting the kids play with Charmer, and just taking a fucking break.
After a little while, because despite his gloomy self, he likes kids. So he stands up and sets down his pack and pulls out a violin and begins to play a more cheerful tune, like Kingdom Dance from Tangled, along those lines of cheerful dancey dance on his violin for the children to kind of like dance to, and Charmer just kind of like cat hops along to it as well. Just to kind of like
Right.
entertain them a little.
You see, you're playing, watching them have fun, and they're not full smile, but smirk of, for one of the rare times of happiness, genuine happiness goes across your face.
Mm-hmm.
And as that's going on, a woman walks up to you in a magnificent maroon gown.
Mm.
Yes, I'm doing this to you, Moth.
Boy is shy. Why would you do this?
It really seems on brand though.
Oh no.
She
I'm so
sits.
confused
She
now.
sits down next to Volpez, and would you describe how Angela looks to him?
Oh God. um, Angela is not a very tall woman, only about 5'6", and with a more slender build. Her hair is a mass of brown curls, with mischief always twinkling in her hazel eyes. She would sit down and smile fondly as she watches this go on. Can you figure you were doing that? Mhm. Anyways, at least it's not the thing I thought you were doing. This is fine. About to make me talk to myself. Well, I already do that. It's gonna be like switching between the accents, the ways of speaking. That's gonna be the problem. Give me a second to prepare myself.
Everybody grab popcorn.
This is how it's done, Torsten.
I was going to say the same
With
thing. This
panic.
is how you RP with yourself when it's thrown at you and you're not expecting it.
I'm also
Why
not going to be
pay
able to take
attention.
notes, so I am going to be counting on you, Dryo. So, Lopez would be standing. He's not dancing along, but he is standing because playing a violin while sitting isn't exactly always the easiest. That
No.
is a skill you got to learn. And as the children laugh and dance and play with Charmer, she would give him her signature mischievous look. And for those of you listening in, basically think Angela from the Aragon series and River Song from Doctor Who in one person. That's who this is. Well, you're quite good with them, I must say, for some sort of gloomy-looking fellow. Though you do rather stick out like a sore thumb. Volpes would say nothing, and would kind of step a bit away from the woman. Oh dear, there's no need to be shy. I've had my fill with such flirtations of things, so don't count on me doing that. Though, you do remind me of one of my sons. He's also a rather gloomy fellow. So what are you doing here, young one? He just would look at her rather nervously. Seeking a lost child. Was told they passed through spring. Lost child, lost child, lost child. Oh yes, little dwarf. Unfortunately, I was not here when he was, so I don't quite know which direction he went. Sorry if I can't be of help. But perhaps there's something in my shop that would be. Gazes at her warily. Oh, come now. I don't bite. Not unless you ask. Now, come on, come on. There might be something I can find in there to help you out. Groans and just kind of understands this woman's not going to take no for an answer. Puts away his violin, Charmer curls back up on his shoulders, and he follows her into her shop. Shall I describe the shop as well?
Yes, please, you know it better than I.
The exterior of the shop looks like a simple townhome almost, with many vines and plants all about it, and a small, almost garden row in the front. In the window of in one window right next to the door is a little sign that reads, "No toads allowed." He walks in, and it is quite large. There are an array of magical items, potions and trinkets, all of which you can imagine, all on rows and rows of shelves. A strange-looking cat, who's rather scruffy-looking, lounges on the stairwell and just sort of opens one large green eye to look at Volpes, and then promptly closes it to go back to his nap. The counter area, it has a scattering of papers, a ledger, a obvious coin box, though no one would dare steal from Angela. It's almost worse than stealing from a fae. There's a scattering of other potions behind there, ones that seem like they might be a bit more dangerous. A few other odds and ends which she seems to keep hidden in a back room that might be more of a higher tiered sort of magic. There's also a small cage on the counter, holding a very grumpy looking little man with a little sign in front of it that says, "Don't stick your fingers in, and don't feed him. He's in timeout." The little man has a set of reading spectacles on and is currently calmly reading a book. Volpes would wander over and kind of peer into the cage. Oh, don't worry about him. That's just my ex-husband. He's in a bit of a timeout. Volpes would raise an eyebrow at this. Oh, our daughter recently got a boyfriend, and he's not exactly thrilled about it. Not because he doesn't want to date, more of because of who it is. A gentleman who seems to be quite prolific with the ladies and has sired a number of children. So I've given my approval of him. He actually is a decent sort. Volpes is deciding to avoid this conversation and starts looking at the magic items. Now, let me see if I can find anything here that might be able to help you. And Angela would immediately set to looking about and see if there's anything she can use that might be useful for him. I know I might have something here somewhere, but I'm not entirely certain. And, well, if it's not here, I do know how I can procure it. And, oh, I should tell you the cost of things. If you can't afford it, I do work in deals. Volpes, eyeing her very nervously, and silently praying that his companions, even Bloodworth, should please show up and rescue him from this madwoman.
You said that as I was typing. Essentially that.
To be perfectly frank, Arletta was a little bit curious already about what kind of shopkeeper would have things that even the Feywild would consider exotic.
You found it.
I think as we'd approach, I think I would have turned to Tenacity and been like, what kind of store? No toads? I kind of want to go in there.
Yeah, me too. Just to ask the
I need to know. Why no toads?
no. Why no toads?
For anyone who's read the Aragon series, it's a reference.
I have. That's why I've been laughing so hard this entire time. And
Don't you shake your head at me.
I've never read the Aragon series, so
You should. I highly recommend it. It's
Agreed.
really good.
Agreed.
Avoid the movie. Avoid the
Already-
movie.
I've already seen the movie. It's trash.
Yeah. And you haven't even read the books and you recognize this. Books are better. Books are better.
I've never watched the movie. I've just watched people review it and say all the reasons why it's bad.
I can possibly go on
Alright.
a literal 5-hour tangent about that topic.
Fair.
Can Tenacity roll? Can Tenacity try and read Volpez's body language to see what's going on?
Oh, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't need to roll. It is obvious as fuck. He is not comfortable. He is nervous because, one, this woman is attractive. That alone is a bit of a problem for him. The other part of it is, she's clearly not... the elevator doesn't go to the top floor, which has made him nervous.
Oh, she's my kind of people.
Tenacity would quickly go up to Volpez and
I'm right there with you.
very uncharacteristically would put his arm, even though he is quite a bit taller than Tenacity, would put his arm trying to get it up on his shoulder
You're not going to be able
and
to. He's too
failing
tall.
quite miserably. And so it's just leaning like this.
Because how
On
tall
Volpez.
is Tenacity again?
like a cool 5'6", 5'7", somewhere around there.
So you're about the same height as Angela, whereas this boy is a how are the clouds up there 6'7"?
So he would try that, and then he would just link arms with Volpez and be like, "So, what is this place?" Looking
Volpez?
directly at Angela.
Single eye, looks down at Tenacity, appreciates the gesture, but removes arm. Like, no touchy. Cusco moment. No touchy.
Volpez, I was trying to help you out. Why would you make it even more
He just
awkward?
basically steps behind you and Tempe.
Hmm.
Just like, nope, I am no longer central focus. You two have fun. No.
I apologize for our abrupt entrance, but we were very curious. Also, why no toads?
Yeah, what is that about?
They don't exist. And if they do, they give you what? Or at least that's what is said. I've been working on a theory and working on disproving it that there are no toads. They're only frogs. The face
guess-
is sort
Nasty
of
had
mad.
an existential crisis in this moment. Is like, okay, so I know I'm not the smartest, and is talking to himself, but I know I'm not the smartest one in the group, but I know that there are toads.
So,
Well, if there are no toads, then they can't give you waltz.
and
Oh,
that's
you heard me say all that? Oh, that is awkward.
and then Temperance is just gonna jump in. So it's kind of like with cats. There's so many different types of cats. It's not like it's a different thing. Some of them are like big cats, and some of them are like little cats. So you've got like the little frogs and the bigger frogs. I kind of get it. Hi, I'm Temperance.
Hello, Tempe. My name is Angela.
My name is Tenacity.
Tenacity. Tenacity and Temperance. I can tell you two are siblings. Rather adorable little ones you are.
Thank you.
And Angela would see the trident on his back.
Looks, she is, you can tell her eyes have not looked in its direction once. It does not exist to her. What was that, DM?
Active avoidance.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
So,
And yes, you all would see her little husband in the cage.
I have a question for that later. But what is this place? This looks very unique, even
Well-
even for the place that we are currently in.
Well, this is my shop. It is called Witchka. Wrong map. Put it on the other map. That is a little too deep into. That's for if they decide to go exploring. Not recommended. Like the TARDIS.
Thanks for
Don't.
dangling the red buttons, though.
Of course, of course. Oh, I'm gonna have to link him. I'm gonna have to link you the fucking plane shifting thing, aren't I? Yeah, I am.
Oh.
And you're gonna have to
Um,
add on your own. I'm gonna have. Okay, so you're gonna have to like remove my stuff and put in your own stuff in its place. Have fun. Good luck. I will send you a modified version at some point.
And
So-
I can go after them, but while they're having this conversation, Temperance is gonna kind of like backtrack, and she's just gonna be standing in front of the cage, and we'll get to that in a minute.
That's gonna be fun because I get to remember how to do that voice. Angela will look to you. Well, this shop is essentially for magical items. I have a bunch of different little adventurers and such who bring me copies of different ones. Sometimes I make my own. I have other forms of connections and ways to get such things. I also have potions, health potions in particular. I do run a special sale on those. And, well, pretty much anything you don't see here, if you need it, you can talk to me about it. And if you are unable to afford it, I am open to making deals.
Would Arletto and the others from the armory have come in by this point? Just to double check.
Yeah.
What
I
kind?
was thinking like
Go ahead.
I was thinking like as not temperance but tenacity and shopkeep were talking is about when we walked in the door.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna.
essentially heard her describing what her shop is.
Yeah. What kind of deals do you make? He asks, a little bit suspiciously.
Oh, well, it really depends on the item you want. If it's something more simple, well, we'll just say something more common, then it's only a small, like some sort of little trinket that you don't really care about on your person or something. If it's something more uncommon, it might be a little more, but nothing dangerous or anything like that. Anything more along the lines of a rare or something very rare. But that's where I might ask you to do something a little dangerous as a favor for me. And if it's along the lines of something from legend, well, that would take a lot of talking. So it
So
really
you,
just does depend on what you want.
so you don't deal in memories whatsoever. Like you don't ask for memories for these items.
I mean, if there's a memory that you want to get rid of, sure, but not particularly. I mean, I
Okay.
can work with emotions, memories, the odd soul, things like that. It really just does depend.
Tenacity asking this question. What you call it? Angela would see like 1,000-yard stare from Tenacity.
Oh dear, this one's not all there.
I'm not sure any of us are after what we just went through.
Oh, Court of Autumn. Understandable.
Right after the Shadowfell, too.
Oh my. Well, look quite interesting.
And
And then there's you.
Angela would know of the conflict right now between the Raven Queen and the other gods. Now, before we continue, Tenacity, while you're in your 1,000-yard stare, just briefly. Hello, Tenacity.
Oh god, it's the bird.
Be ready to meet her. You will meet her very soon.
That's his exact expression.
Uh,
That's his exact expression, just like
uh-uh.
God.
he doesn't say anything. He's too stunned.
Uh-uh.
The man was too stunned to speak.
For once.
What are we getting ourselves into?
All right,
Um,
so
May I continue then, DM?
yeah,
Or
go
you
ahead.
don't scare us more? Okay.
Go ahead.
Angela's gaze goes over to Bloodworth. My, but you're an interesting fellow. She would sashay practically a bit closer. My goodness, you are far from home. And from the look in your eye, that's a good thing.
It can be.
It's been a while since I've met one of your kind. I'm not entirely unfamiliar with them.
And what do you know of my kind?
What was that?
And what do you know of my kind?
Depends on how much you want me to say in front of your friends.
Fair enough. Nothing needed.
He knows. She knows. She knows.
Yeah. And oh my, a displaced soul as well? Looks to Arletto.
Arletto just freezes. His eyes slowly turning towards her before the rest of his body does, and says, One could say that, yes.
Don't worry, not the first, most likely not the last. The last one I met, though, was a rather interesting kobold. Rather tall. Very odd. Had 5 wives. One of them was a centaur.
Arletto just looks confused for a couple seconds before shaking his head and says, I'm not gonna ask.
Not my roommate glaring at me. She knows this character all too well. She'll look back at the siblings. It seems you two have been through your own fair set of hardships. But at the same time, those hardships seems to have made you who you are. And I rather like you. And then there's, oh my, a caged bird. She looks to Rowena.
Rowena just looks back at her, subtly shaking her head.
You're stronger than you think, my dear. Have some more faith in yourself. Only you hold the key to getting out of your own cage. She looks to Bloodworth. And the look she gives you feels not just like a mother's glare. It's almost cold.
Mm.
And you feel that hint of shame. It's one of those mom looks that you
Yeah.
can't look back at. Like you cannot meet that gaze. It's one of those.
Bloodworth is just looking everywhere but at her.
Just like
Look at that boulder. That's a nice boulder.
Nice boulder.
Look at that caged man. That's a nice caged man.
That is not a nice caged man.
No, he's not.
Speaking of the caged man,
Yes.
Branson's just wandered in front of it, and she's just staring at it, and she goes, "Why do they have you locked up?"
He just kind of looks up at you, and I want to see if you guys can get who this is from just one line. Can I help you with something, dearie?
I was just curious why you're in there. See, when they locked me away, it was because people stared and well, my parents didn't like it. But I was just curious why you're in there. You don't seem very scary.
If I were in my true size and had control of any of my power, I could be quite terrible. However, my ex-wife has seemed to put me in timeout to prevent me from killing our daughter's boyfriend. She approves of him. I do not.
Did he do something vile?
Besides being a womanizer that's knocked up at least 5 different women?
I
You think I'm
mean,
going to trust my daughter with a man like that?
well, I can kind of see your point. See, I was a pirate for a couple of years, and that kind of stuff happened a lot.
I may not have been the best father, but I'm working on getting better and not exactly thrilled about this gentleman courting her.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I hope she lets you out soon.
She says she'll let me out after they're married. I'm working on getting out soon.
Good luck with that. And she's gonna wink at him, and I imagine this is right around pointed out the siblings. So she's turned back around like, oh, right, we're still talking.
For those of you who picked up who that is.
Do you guys do any shopping at Angela's today?
There are magic items. I do have a list of items that you could purchase from.
Don't think Arletto's gonna look to purchase anything right now, but he may later. If
Bloodworth would like to take a. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Bloodworth would like to take a look at the magic items.
Same for temperance.
The items in the shop. You do see different crates of different rarities of potions of healing with their set prices. Essentially, if you buy a crate of 6, it's much cheaper. The magic items, she has both common and uncommon available. Let's see here. For the more common variety of items, there is a bottle with a rune upon it that would allow someone to be able to drink endless coffee. They can change whether it's hot or cold, what kind of coffee it is, including flavorings, or if it's a latte or frappuccino. Basically, Starbucks in a bottle. There's a trunk that essentially, if you put anything in it, it will keep. A chest of preserving. Something that will allow you to keep any goods and whatnot nicely cold. D&D's version of a refrigerator. There are stones that, if you use them, will allow you to just clean your clothing and yourself. A pouch of many, many spices. An orb that will tell you which way you're going, and an orb that will tell time. A perfume for if you want that extra boost in a bit of seduction. A rope that can be cut into pieces, and as long as you keep those pieces handy, it can mend itself. There's also rows of fabric that seem to have no color and yet every color on them. That essentially says 50 gold per 10 yards. And it seems that as you think of different outfits, this fabric shifts almost into them. There's also a spyglass. You're not entirely certain what it does, but when you kind of like take a peek into it, you think it might help you have a bit more clairvoyance. For the more uncommon items, there is a set of armor that is heavy and fancy and seems to be made of adamantium. There are multiple jugs that have different runes on them of varying colors. That when you look in them, there's multiple smells of different sorts of liquids that might be able to pour out of them. There's a pair of boots that are very well made and seem to be elven made, even. And then there's a broom. It's just kind of there. You don't know what the broom does, but it's a broom, and it's got a price on it, so it must do something. There's a cloak that also seems elven made. A deck of playing cards that seem to shift and shimmer, and don't always quite seem like they're there. A pouch of dust that, if you take a pinch and just kind of put it over something, the item seems to kind of almost disappear a little. There's a set of goggles that might help you see farther. And another set of goggles that might help you see in the dark. 2 sets of gloves, one that seems like something a pickpocket would wear. The other seemed to have something on the palm, like meant for catching particular spells, or perhaps something else. A beautiful hat that seems to change. A rod that won't move. A medallion that looks like a brain? Another set of armor, though this one's shining like mithril. And 2 sets of bagpipes. One seems to carry a haunting melody, the other has a rat sitting on it. And then a ring that also has a brain.
If I only had a brain.
And I will actually go ahead and...
I put the list in
He
general.
posted it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So there you go.
If you guys want to look it over and think about it, we can always come back.
I was gonna say we can do
All
that.
right.
Because I know I'm at least buying one thing, so we can circle back to it later.
And if you don't have the money for it, this is a shop that also trades in deals. So depending on the rarity of the item and what the item does, will determine what sort of deal you end up with Angela. However, a word of caution. Be wary if she asks you for a favor.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable enough.
All right. So you guys look around, get to know Angela a little bit. But the day is catching up with you. Would you guys like to check out the tavern and inn?
Yes.
So we should
Yeah.
totally go to this place called the Laughing Blossom because they said they had some really nice sweet treats, and I could really use.
Oh, you guys get a bit, Angela. Good night for now, and head over to the Laughing Blossom. You walk in, and there is a dryad behind the bar. She introduces herself as Petalina Dewsong. And she is just the most bubbly and happy-go-lucky thing you have ever seen. She seems to thrive on joy and celebration. Her tavern is lively, and you see servers carrying around trays with delicious looking petal meads and nectar based dishes. She welcomes you in and tells you to have a seat anywhere.
Arletto takes a seat in the corner where he can watch the whole realm, still not really trusting the Feywild, even if the mayor was being truthful.
Volpe sits right next to you with the same sort of thoughts, as well as I am thankful to be out of Angela's shop. Dear God, why are there so many pretty people here? Why are they all so bubbly? If there are any gods listening, please help.
You people.
I'm just gonna slide in across from them.
Server brings over, and the Aladdin server brings over a couple menus for you. And let me pull up that document and post it for you.
We actually get a menu?
Yes. Just forgot to have it ready.
Oh, also, after we all sit down, Rowena hands Tenacity the shield she had just bought.
Aww.
And she says, "Here, I thought you might need it."
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been kind of tough. Gestures appreciated.
She nods her head before going back and sitting next to Bloodworth.
Oh, that reminds me, and she's gonna like take their bag. Volpes, I got this
Oh,
for
son of-
you. It's supposed to help with nightmares.
He takes the vial and kind of looks at it. And there's a hint of a smile underneath the mask as he simply leans in and whispers, "Thank you, princess."
Tenacity will look at Bloodworth, Rowena, and Arletta and say, I also got these for the three of you, pulling at the same vials. We've had quite the traumatic experience, and a night of reprieve um in Dreamland would be very nice.
Arletto accepts the vial very quickly and holds it, staring at it for a few seconds before carefully stowing it in his robes and nodding. Thank you. That is very much appreciated.
The menu is in general. While you guys are looking over the menu, Adelina comes over and asks, will you be staying with us tonight? Entirely too fast, she asks that. And very high pitched.
How much is it to stay for an evening?
1 second. Thought I had her prices written down. I have to go back.
And also, as temperance, here's that. I want to do an insight check. See if she thinks that the way that she said it is because she doesn't want us to stay there, or if it's because she needs us to stay there because business.
It's also that, or she's extremely hyper and hyped on sugar.
I mean, it could be that too, but
All right, go ahead.
uh,
She looks at you, Arletto, and it's only 1 gold per night. With that insight, temperance, you you kind of look around while right after she asked that, and you see that the place it's not like packed busy, but it is like busy. So business seems to be pretty decent for a town this size. She just being her nice, bubbly, hyper self. Yes, it is 1 gold per night.
Arletto glances around the rest of the group. What do you think? Are we gonna stay here for the evening?
it would be nice to say someplace that seems really nice compared to that forest we were in.
Bumpus will nod.
A good bed would work.
All right, how many rooms?
Bumpus.
There are 6 of you. I'm guessing 6.
I mean, I
Five.
can stay with my brother.
I would prefer that if you don't mind, temperance.
In that case.
So 4.
Volpez is willing to bunk up with Arletto.
Arletto doesn't intend to actually sleep on a bed, so he's just gonna sleep on the floor.
So 3?
So 3.
All right, 3 rooms. That will be 3 gold per night. And she goes, grabs your room keys, takes the money, and gives you your keys. They're all in the same hall. Temperance and Tenacity is right across from Bloodworth and Rowena's, which is right next to Volpez and Arletto. You guys order your various drinks and sweets and food, and after a little while, call it a night.
Tenacity. Would you mind while I try to fall asleep? Would you tell me about that first adventure you went on when you met your other friends?
That was many years ago. Well, we had heard, I don't remember which town you and I and mother and father were living in, but I remember one of the townships that we were living in or nearby had a job board, and my friends and I took one of the flyers and went to the person. We headed towards what looked like a windmill. I didn't know there was a windmill in the on the island, but I guess there was. But it was infested with many, many rats. So many rats. Ended up killing as many as we could. But you remember the time that we had just a bunch of rats too?
When you pause for her response, she's already out. She's heard the story a million times, and she's just already just like almost snoring.
As you're snoring, he will lay there next to you and just brotherly stroke your hair for like 10-15 minutes, and then he'll go to one of the chairs in the room and sit there, eventually falling asleep in it.
So, Cassidy, as you sleep, well, not sleep, drift, restless, half aware, into a place not entirely of your choosing. The air here is cold, and the light is dim. Trees without leaves claw upward like broken fingers, and the earth is slick with frost. You're in a forest you do not know, but yet it knows you. Above, no stars, just a single raven perched on a bough's shadow. Then a voice whispered, female and hungry. You've taken what was promised to me. A figure steps from the black between trees. Her face is a porcelain mask, cracked with age. Her gown... Go away, I can hear you crackling. Her gown flows like funeral smoke, trailing feathers, frost, and grief in equal measure. Her eyes are voids, stars fall on the ground. In her right hand she carries a needle of obsidian, longer than any blade. The Raven Queen is in your dream, and she's not here to talk. She doesn't speak again. Force turns against you, roots try to snare you, feathers swirl so blind, and the needle blade hums with stolen breath. In this realm you are alone, no allies, no armor, only resolve.
Do I have a chance to pull out my trident?
Yes, you can.
Pull out my trident and get ready to attack.
She sees this, and just continues your steady pace forward. It repeats, "You have taken what was promised to me." And then she says, "Because of that, you are now mine." She goes forward and tries to stab you with the obsidian needle.
I will. I will lean into the stab if I'm going to get an opening to return the favor.
You guys continue this dance for what seems like hours, trading stabs and pokes, drawing blood from both. But after a while, she sees the opening she was waiting for. She takes it to the left, you go to stab, and she buries the needle in your chest. And you feel this deeply through your body. You feel your soul. You feel her reach inside, not to hurt, but to erase. And just as your own name begins to fade from your mind, something pulls you back. A hand of moonlight catches yours. Raven Queen hisses like a dying crow and retreats into the dark. Her presence is severed by soft radiance. You rise, barely cradled in light from twilight lullabies. The air smells of jasmine and tears. A woman kneels beside you, veiled in gossamer silver. Her eyes full of mercy and memory. This is the Moonweaver. She looks at you and says, "She would have stolen me. She would have claimed your death as hers. But you are not hers to claim." She places 2 fingers on your chest. The wound the Raven Queen left burns like fire. But the moon reveals it with a crescent of soft light. And I can do what is taken. But I can give you what comes after. She draws from her relic a chalice filled not with wine, but with silver sand. She tips the grain fall upon your body, vanishing into your skin like 9 stars. You will not walk in armor alone. You will carry rights forgotten, promises unspoken, oaths sealed in silence. The dying shall know you, the dead shall respect you. The Queen of the Feathers shall fear you. Swear to tenacity. Swear not to vengeance nor to conquest, but to the right. Honor the passage. Ease the pain. Speak the name of all when no one else will.
As long as I can keep this oath away from her, and then immediately think about Tempest.
This oath you take only help you protect her more than you already have.
He bows his head and he says, "Then let the burden of last rites be my oath."
And with that, you gasp. Your skin is cold. Your skin is cold. Your hair is damp. The morning sun is as much as it can in the spring court creeping over the horizon. You are not where you fell asleep, but you are not far. You are still in Bloomhaven. You lie in a small clearing ringed by white flowers that were not there before. In your palm is a token, a single silver feather glowing with faint warmth. Where the Raven Queen struck you, a scar remains, crescent-shaped, pulsing faintly with moonlight. And next to you, a set of armor bearing the Moonweaver's crest. You are changed. You have taken the oath of the last rite. And that is where we will end our session for the night. So,
The drama.
not as much trauma as the last few sessions.
No.
I
did
didn't
that
say
on
trauma.
purpose.
I said drama.
Oh yeah, definitely drama. Always drama.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you guys for watching. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Yee, bye.
Have a good one, and have a happy and safe 4th of July.
Bye.
Oh shit, that's close.
Beware the heat. Beware the
Beware the heat.
Stay cool.